Salutations, sleuths. I'm Gina.
I'm Maria.
And we are
Fortuitous.
Boom! Okay, you could start.
Okay. Double blinking to let you know.
You're double right now. Oh. We're ready.
All right. So we did a thing. We did what we actually said we were going to do, which was take a self-defense class.
Like, first episode, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It?
Yeah.
Or your bitch ass said it, or maybe it was mine.
One of us. It was 50 episodes ago.
Oh. But what does blues do? Okay,
oh, they did the penalty thing.
Oh, what's the sound?
It's been a long time since I've
Okay.
been.
Really? You? Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Penalty box. Penalty box.
50 episodes. Holy shit. Look at us go.
I know.
We're basically professionals.
Pretty much.
Like, we need ads and we
Sponsors.
should be getting paid. We might as well quit our day job.
Might as well.
Okay, bye.
You know, invest in yourself. Take the leap.
We've made it. No, this was actually a really good experience. It was super fun. But what was so funny about it is that I did it and realized how much I need to go back because I was so bad at it. Before I forget, what we're going to do next time we do some sort of event we say we're going to do.
Yeah.
Which I think is boxing next.
I think so. Or, I mean, we're doing the Go 8 also. I don't know if we want to cover that. It's like an obstacle course-esque. It's a challenge.
We could.
But we're not. I mean, I guess we could drive together.
We'll
figure it out.
But what we decide is that we want to give you next time the absolute most raw reaction. Because on our way back, we were having a blast talking about it.
Time. Yeah.
Because the way it was set up, we actually had you with your teammate or your partner, and I had my partner. So we both had very different experiences, and we didn't really get to talk to each other throughout the event.
Right.
But coming back together on the car ride, oh man, we were like hyping it up. We were having a great time. So we decided next time
we'll catch it. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just put it up and talk to you guys about everything full raw. And but the whole story goes so much further beyond the self-defense class, so I guess we'll get there.
It was an eventful night. It was.
I did not. I've been through it. Our hearts been through it.
Yeah. So we were supposed to record this episode yesterday, and I reached out to Gina saying I couldn't because I was too bummed about a specific thing. I was like, I need a day.
And I was bummed. And I'm like, thank God we just understand.
Yeah.
Because
I was tired and I was bummed, and I just needed time to go home and get a good cry about it.
No. Okay, did you cry? Did you really cry?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Because it's also like I'm in that phase of the month for me.
Oh, that one.
I'm in that one, which is, it was perfect for the self-defense class because, you know, every woman has, 3 phases per month, you know, for the weeks. And I am in the phase of, please come at me so I can choose violence phase.
Let me hurt you. I will hurt you.
Fuck around and find out, please. Give me that chance. But with that phase, after all the anger presides, then it comes like deep sadness. Mm-hmm. And so like we had such the emotional roller coaster and like the high of the class, and then we had like the after that we went through, and then the next day with little sleep, I just fucking crashed. And I was like, even my coworkers noticed. They were like, what's wrong? And I was like, let me tell you the whole story. And so,
let me tell you everything.
I did. I went from the very beginning to the stop at Schnucks, and then afterwards. People are gonna regret asking me in the future.
Yeah. Not to mention, I think you missed one of the emotions. Is the love emotion, and we had all of that.
It's too much love.
All of it. I've never seen Maria get so fucking soft. You guys have been along with the journey. We have all gotten to know Maria in these last 50 episodes. Could improve on the empathy. She's a go-getter. Likes black cats and likes weird baby dolls.
Yeah.
But she is a fucking sucker for cats, okay?
It's my kryptonite. It really is.
Yeah. You're a sweetheart. I was having a real hard time, too. I didn't shed a tear, but I could have. I would have.
That's all right. I did enough for both of us.
All right, let's start from the top. We'll carry through.
Yeah.
We had our self-defense class, right?
Yes. So do you want to shout out where we did it? Because we're in St. Louis, and there's a couple different places that you can.
We should, because I would highly recommend this place for anyone interested in taking a self-defense class.
Absolutely. It was a really awesome place and also super clean. They do pride themselves on how clean that it is. Mm-hmm. And it's got like a child care center. It has like a place, like a section just for like heavy lifting. They have kickboxing classes as well. So there's a lot to offer at that place. What was it? Do you have the name of it?
Yeah, so Krav Maga is the name of the place, the name of the game.
The name of the game and the place.
And they are located in either Fenton or Chesterfield, Missouri. Mm-hmm. We ended up going to the Fenton location, and the people were awesome. I liked the people.
The whole community aspect of it, and it reminded me of when I used to teach boxing, where everyone there is so nice, they're so supportive, they're so encouraging, and then all of them after class asking us if we were when are we gonna do it again? Not if, but when are we gonna see you next?
You're gonna be here tomorrow? I'm like, okay, hold on.
Hold the phone. And so it reminded me back when I used to teach boxing. I was like, this was like, I missed that part of it. And like still some of like my best friends today are from boxing. So it's just a super supportive community. Everyone there was super nice. We didn't get permission if we could use people's names, so we won't use the exact names. But it was a blast. And so when we first got there, they have like a little orientation type deal thing. They ask you like some questions and your goals, and they're like, why are you here? What brought you here? And we're like, we have a podcast.
I had so much anxiety about talking about my reasoning. I'm like, Maria, take it away. She's like, I got it.
She was like, because we both knew that they were going to try and sell it. So Gina was getting anxiety on like having to say no afterwards. So she's like, what do we say we're there for? What do we say to them afterwards? And I was like, no worry. Mm-hmm. I used to sell it, so I got it.
Okay.
And so, we just told them that we're on a podcast and we live in the city. So we wanted to talk about it and also have some, know-how should we ever need it. Mm-hmm. And then he gave us a tour of the place. We get to this one specific area and all of a sudden the smell of shit hits so hard. And even the guy giving us the tour was like, wait a minute.
He was so distracted. And I was distracted, but I was not trying to react because I'm like, is that just how this place smells? Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
But it was literally as he was like priding himself in the place on being so clean and nice, and then all of a sudden, boom, the smell of shit just whacks you across the face. And all of a sudden, like this little kid starts running around, but a kid old enough to not have shat himself. But the guy was like, ma'am, your child...
He knew the kid. He knew the people.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, he said his name. He's like, all right.
He was like, Johnny shat himself.
I didn't say that. He was like, he pooped his pants, like to the parent.
I think it was like the grandma.
Probably.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, he pooped his pants. Like, I can smell it.
Everyone can smell it.
She was like... No, and then the kid said, no, I didn't. Yeah. I was like, oh, God.
Yes, you did.
It's so awkward. And then they walk away, and, oh, man.
Crop dust the shit out of us with a poop.
It was bad. It was pretty bad. Irrelevant, but needed.
But it was a moment that happened. Didn't take away from the experience. If anything, like, it was...
No. Then we went and sat in this like little room that was just a waiting room. Also,
like a lobby that they said.
Yeah, I mean
VIP lounge.
We started playing chess. I got Maria hooked on chess. Not really. She
Not really.
fucking hated it.
But because I've played one other time before, and then Gina was like, "Oh, I'll teach you how to play." So we set up. I move once, and then she obliterates my fucking board. She just kills me. I'm like,
I never win. I took full advantage. I'm like, this is my chance.
My moment to shine.
I know everything about chess.
How does it fucking feel, Maria, to lose?
No. And then he comes in, he's like, we have game nights. I'm like, oh, great. But it was cool. They had the video or cameras for each of the rooms. So parents can obviously come and watch or keep an eye if they're doing work or having to stay there. That's what I thought of. I'm like, from a parent's point of view, you know, shout out.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and so anyways, we go into the room, and I am automatically very out of place. I have like this maroon.
We both are.
No, bitch, you looked so good. You fit right in. You were wearing all black, first of all. Like, that was the theme. Everyone was
in black
t-shirts and shorts and stuff. And so I'm wearing these blue athletic shorts and a maroon shirt. And I've got my socks on. I've got my ring on. I've got my watch on. I had my hair clip above the bun. I looked ridiculous. I can't explain the hair clip and bun thing, but just understand I looked ridiculous. And we are all supposed to go stand in this line at the beginning.
Line up. And yeah, within the lineup, Gina does stick out like a sore thumb because I didn't know that the memo was black. Everyone just wore black. And I just happened to be in black because favorite color and everything like that.
Not to mention I'm pale as fuck, which I didn't realize.
But you weren't the only pale one. But yeah, Gina's colors did stand out. She was vibrant. And then everyone else is wearing like I think they're called gis. They're like the belts.
Yeah.
And like you could see the different colors. And, you know, there was one other guy who did stand out. It was his first time also. And he was in khaki pants and a long sleeve shirt. So
I'm like, you and me, bro.
Buddies.
Look at us go. We're here. We made it.
But yeah, so the instructor did talk to us beforehand to kind of get an idea of like experience and again, what you're looking for, everything like that. And then he was like, all right, well, I know you guys came together, but we're going to pair you up with other more experienced people so that it's not the blind leading the blind.
And I looked at Maria and I said, oh gosh, don't leave me.
Don't leave me.
As I'm taking my anti-nausea meds. I had to take anti-nausea because I was so fucking stressed. I ate way too much food beforehand.
Gina had salmon and cream cheese
before
before a class.
I can't explain it. It was delicious, but yeah.
But yeah. Also, both of us did not think that it was going to be as physical as it was.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was going to be, like, I guess what I've seen in movies or shows where, like, everyone stands in a circle and then the instructor will show a move on someone else and talk about, like, if they do this, you do this. If they do that, you do this. And, you know, talk about the scenario and then break. And then you would go practice that maybe a couple times and then come back to it.
What was the presentation you did? You did, like, a little visual...
I don't know. You do your little move.
Like, they do this, and then we go that. I'm like, I don't know. Like, okay. Which is kind of, in a way, how it was, right? We would all stand just scattered throughout the room. He'd be at the front room with his duo, as him and his partner that would kind of do, like, a little rally, but show, and he's walking it through, and then at the very end of this... demonstration
yeah.
Diagram he would break it down and it would be so quick. I'd be like, oh my god, what the fuck did he just do? It was so new to me. But of course the person that I was with, she was so sick. Like, she was awesome. She was very patient. She's been here since February, so automatically, you know, she's newer, but she looked good, man. She was tough.
She looked expert level,
she clearly had, for just being here till February, I'm like, you could have fooled me. She's fucking... If she ever hears this.
Yeah. Well, they could not have partnered us up with better people because Gina's girl totally matched her vibe and energy, and then my girl totally matched my energy and, like, my experience, everything like that. So it was great fits for both of us.
Definitely. I was talking about my girl all night after
Gina
that.
had the biggest girl crush on her girl.
She was just so great. She was, like you said, my energy. She was tough. I mean, she definitely was not, I think, as golden retriever, because she was here for a purpose, right? She's here to learn how to defend herself.
Yeah.
And she's doing it with grace. Like, she's very good. She's funny, though. And she would just be like, okay, I'm standing here, la da da da, I don't know you're coming. And then, but she had her mistake moments. She would accidentally, when she was doing the mitts, and she would call the numbers, and we warmed up with mitts, right? This is kind of out of the gates.
Yeah, so
right?
I was gonna say, like, we were expecting zero physical activity or like just minimal cardio, and then the instructor's like, all right, we're gonna warm up, mitt up. So for those that don't know, one partner holds mitts.
Not mittens, by the way.
Not mittens like Gina thought. She's like, what are they doing with mittens? No, mitts. We can't leave fingerprints anywhere, so they have mittens. But so one partner holds the mitts. They call out a combo, which is in number form. So 1 is jab, 2 is jab cross, 3 jab cross hook, 4 jab cross hook uppercut. So they call out the number. So you have to know like what each one is, and then you throw the punch whenever they call it, and you're throwing it bare hand. Which when I taught boxing, we would always have like our gloves, because we are on the heavy bag. And so my first thought was like, oh, no gloves. But then I thought, oh, it's self-defense. So like, you're not gonna, like, if a person's coming at you, you're not gonna be like, sir, wait, let me put on my gloves before I punch you in the face.
I love it.
So my hands are sore.
Yeah, my knuckles hurt.
But I have weak hands. I have baby hands. So the littlest of things.
So good though. See, all your muscle comes from here and like your just body tone, so you can literally go and throw all the heat. But your little hands, they are so cute.
Yes.
You have little baby hands.
I have the arms, but then my hands are like, we're just a baby.
When my girl, I want to give her name so bad.
Shannon.
Come on, Shannon. Thanks, Shannon. She would be like, she has to hold the mitts, right? It's a whole different side, because obviously you're learning the punches, but when it's reversed, you have to be able to call it.
Throw the mitt, yeah.
Have the mitt in the right spot. Otherwise, you could get punched, right?
Right.
And so she would be like 1, and then I'd hit, and then she'd call 3, but she would set up for 2, and she'd accidentally like almost get punched, or I'd almost punch her, and she's like, ah! And do like the cutest little squeal scream. And then we'd start laughing, and I'm like, God, you're perfect.
Marry me already. There was one time that I did look over and I saw Gina and Shannon like bouncing, like
she was so supportive. She gave me so much hype. She's like, that was so good. But she'd be so fucking serious, and she did the whole when she would
the
punch,
breathing, yeah.
She had the breathing down. She just, I can't get over the legitimacy that she gave.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just such a vibe, and I was trying really hard to match it. But anytime I'd accidentally punch wrong, I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry. Or if I accidentally hit her, even though we're here to throw a punch, if I like barely touched her, I feel so bad. It was stressful.
But no, so like then like everything that your partner does, like you do. So everyone gets to do everything. So like if one person's holding the mitts and the other one's punching, you do that for a certain amount of time, and then you switch, and then the other person holds the mitt, and then the other person punches. And my girl was like, she was the like most experienced one, I think, in the class, because she was the one that was doing the demos with the instructor. Mm-hmm. And so she challenged me to make sure that her hands would stay up. So she asked me to throw punches at her that were like of not the combo, just to keep her on her toes. So that was fun also. But reflex in me, like I would go to do it, and then before like hitting her or giving her a chance to block it, reflex like had me pull it back. I'd be like, oh shit, sorry. And she's like, no, like hit me.
Oh wow, she actually wanted you to go in.
Yeah.
Was she able to block them?
The ones that like actually did go through that I didn't pull back on, yeah.
Oh my gosh, and were you punching hard?
No, not like, Yeah, it was like a throw it out there for her to like,
Okay.
whack it off or whatever, just to make sure that her
Fascinating.
hands like stayed up.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. They were all so great. I want to say my favorite and least favorite part of the whole thing was the very last exercise.
Ooh. It was both your favorite and least favorite?
Yes.
Yeah.
Favorite because I realized how necessary it was. My senses were heightened significantly. My adrenaline increased.
Yeah.
It was all just like, it was so scary. And we're in an exercise, but the whole point of it is that you are standing in a room. There's team A, team B. Team A would go around and basically fuck with team B, and team B is standing there with eyes closed, and you are waiting for team A to approach you. It would just be one individual, but they would come at you at a certain approach, and you had to get out of it and fight it off, basically.
Right. Yeah. So after we did the mitts, then we worked on the knees, and then after the knees, then we worked on different bear hug scenarios. And depending on how the person came and bear hugged you, your attacker, then there was like a few different ways that we learned how to get out of it. So the very last thing was, okay, let's apply everything that we've learned, but like kind of real life-esque. So like Gina was saying, there was a group that would stay in the middle, like spread out in the middle, but with their eyes closed. And then the partners were on the outside, and what you would do is you would go up to a random person, attack them in whichever bear hug you wanted to, and then they had to react. So their eyes are closed, so they don't know when you're coming, how you're gonna do it, and then you have to like be able to react when they do it. So that was invigorating and scary.
I think it was a huge pull out of your comfort zone, not just for the sake of the whole eyes closed and all that deal. It was, we had to go be with other people, where I had been so dependent
on your one partner,
on my new partner that I fell in love with in the span of like 45 minutes. But then now we're working with all these other people, and I'm like, there was an older guy. There was, I don't know, in his 60s maybe, and I almost felt bad hitting him, but fucking man,
he was able to throw you down.
Yeah, and he is there learning to defend himself. I was like, good for you.
Pop off, Grandpa.
There were people of all sizes, all ages, and it was just very admirable that everyone's there for a reason. They are there to improve themselves and hopefully
gain confidence. And
yes, oh god, and man, I was working up a sweat. So not to mention, like, there were some people that were so sweaty, and I just like, ew.
Oh, see, that doesn't bother.
Get used to that.
That doesn't bother me. I've grown up in like, gym sweaty scenarios, and so like it.
Sweat doesn't bother me. Touching other people while they're sweaty bothers me.
It's whatever.
I got it. Yeah. Do I have to learn that? But do I want to go back? Absolutely. It is a little on the pricey side, but I think defending and learning your own safety is priceless.
Yeah. It's invaluable.
But, yeah,
how can you put a price on your life?
I definitely gotta work on some budgets, but I don't know, man. I would definitely go back. I think I've got a lot to learn. It showed just how much I can benefit from it, but also how much I'm lacking in knowledge and confidence, and how much room of improvement there is.
Well, there's this whole new world for you to explore that you've never been like a part of. So,
and for a bitch living in the city, I could fucking use it.
It wouldn't hurt.
It wouldn't hurt. But does the party end there? No. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
The second thing that we did after the mitts, we did knees, and I think that was my favorite part, was throwing the knees.
Oh.
Just because, like, I don't know, I thought it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And so they first taught you like how you would throw a knee, and then they got there was different paddings for all the different things that we did. Mm-hmm. And so they got these different paddings to throw a combo and a knee. So then you just add on to what you did initially. So then you would throw a punch combo, and then you would add the knee to it at the end. Mm. So that was fun because now you've got full body going. Mm-hmm. And then after that, then they got these different pads for exclusively knees. And then what we did was we all lined up. Your partner would hold the pad for the knees, and then the other partner was across from them, and they taught you on how to grab the person and then pull them in as you drive the knee up. And he was telling you, like
a rag doll.
Right. They wanted you to, like, pull as hard as you could and drive your knee as hard as you could, which, like, when else are you going to ever do that? So that was, like, a blast to be able to just full force throw a knee into someone. And then he was talking about the magic number is 2. So if you do ever have to throw a knee into someone, you don't want to do 1, just 1, because it may not take effect. And then you don't want to do 3 because 3 is a pattern. So you do 2. So you do 1 and then 2. And then you, like, get the fuck out or what have you. So that was a blast, like giving the knees, but then also kind of like taking it. Because then my girl, I mean, she would yank. And so, yeah, my body is going back and forth, back and forth. And I don't know, it was just like really cool. Like you're like almost like fighting without getting hurt.
Yeah. Well, I really liked and respected how my girl, she was being so gentle, and I'm like, I know you can go harder. Like, look at you. And she's like, are you sure? Like, she was holding back, but she was being so kind about it. And I was like, kill me. She would like go. She's like, okay. And oh my God. And so after the end, she was like, thank you. Like, she was being grateful that she could actually work on herself. I still feel like she was holding back. That bitch, she had it.
I know. The first time that I was holding it for my partner, I was like, can you give me a medium one first, just so I can gauge what like full blown would be? And she gave me medium. I was like, all right, I think I can handle it. Go for it. And then her medium was not really medium. Her medium that she gave me was soft, because then when she went full force, so it was like, okay.
My stomach's sore.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is not, but I was also bracing myself each time. Like, I would do the breaths every time, like the...
Well, no, I was bracing myself. It didn't hurt at the time, but then the next day I realized my stomach is sore from getting, jabbed a bunch of times. Or even if it was, like, from me holding those 2 mats, I was probably doing harm to myself because I was bracing, so I was like, no! Oh, I definitely felt like a little bitch the whole time, but...
No, so you shouldn't. Cool. I mean, for your very first time and having never done boxing or anything like that, like, you did awesome.
Thank you.
From what I did see.
Let's put it this way. For the beginning of each exercise, while I was learning and, being very, very humbled, I have no clue what the fuck is going on. They would show you, I'd go practice it, realize, oh wait, can you do that again? And walk me through it. And then once I got it, and actually, like, it was towards the second half of the time frame they'd allocate for it.
Yeah.
I was like really going in. I'm like, God, I'm so fucking strong.
It's empowering, yeah.
Yeah. They fixed my thumbs. I went into work the next day. I'm like, I took a self-defense class.
Let me show you.
They're like, you're going to get kidnapped, Gina. Thank you.
And then the other thing was, so when we were learning the bear hugs, there's a thing where you can either get bear hugged and they leave your arms out, which I don't see that happening very often. Like, who's going to come attack you and leave your arms out? It's fine.
I cannot get this.
Gina's hair is struggling.
Okay.
There.
Sorry, continue.
So depending on how you get bear hugged, then you do different techniques to get out of it. One of those techniques, though, was the person who is getting attacked would wrap their hand around the person's face, so around their mouth, and then the other hand goes underneath it, and then they open up their body to literally spin the person off of them. So like, neck and spine concerns here. And, the instructor was like, do this really slow, you're twisting people off, the attackers, like, go with it, don't try and fight it. And he was like, if you think you're going slow, go even slower. So I was like, all right, got it. And when I would do it, I was essentially just like guiding the person down, like very gently. I'm like, okay, go down to rest, please. Just delicately putting them on like a pillow and like, just calm down. And then when my partner did it to me, I'm expecting her to also go slow, but she wraps her hand around my mouth, and next thing I know, I am flat on my back. I am looking up at her, and she's pretending to punch me in the face. Like, she did it so fast. Like, I had no idea what the fuck just happened to me.
That's so funny. I can just picture it.
And it made a loud thud. That was the one you were like, Jesus.
Oh,
That was me. Smacking the ground.
Little did I know you were fighting for your life, actually.
My life flashed before my eyes. I didn't even know what happened. She did it so quick.
That's so funny.
Which, because she did it so quick and my body was relaxed, my neck popped like twice.
Oh.
Not in a bad way, but almost like an adjustment way.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
But I was like, oh, okay. And she would do it every time. And it didn't matter like how prepared I was for it to be fast. It still caught me off guard. It was like so quick that every time I would realize the hand was around my mouth, and next thing I knew, I'm looking up at the ceiling.
Okay.
It was a blast.
I feel like it's like when you do one-on-one, you just kind of go into your turn and you're like, oh God, don't hurt me.
No, but they were all like super nice. And afterwards, like we were saying, like they were asking when we were going to come back. And they were like, we have 5 a.m. classes, 5:30 classes. And which is like great, it's a nice option to have. With those options though, like you are literally waking up and choosing violence. Like 5:30 class, throwing people on the ground, like that is a choice. That is a move.
That sounds good.
Like
you really get the energy out of you.
What a way to start the day.
Yeah.
Just throwing people.
I honestly feel like the whole rest of the day you're so composed because you've already gotten
that aggression,
the violence out of you.
Yeah.
You don't need to work it out throughout the day on anyone.
Maybe that is the move.
Or maybe like you just have to deal with that one bitch of a coworker and
who's condescending.
Yeah,
and interrupts all the sentences.
Sucks. And you're like, you know what? I already fought someone today. It's okay. Go ahead.
I'm all out of fight.
Well,
but yeah. So I think that's all I wanted to say about that.
Which is so funny because we were really wanting to like, let's get back all of this information to our people, let them know how it went, maybe inspire you to go take a class,
check it out,
tell you our experience so you're not so caught off guard. But little did we know we would want to tell you so much more because
the night did not end there.
It did not end.
It essentially started there. We had like 2 nights in one night.
Yeah, actually. Literally didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. It was eventful. This is on a weeknight, not to mention.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday night.
We were on our way to Schnucks to go get some... I had to get meatballs, and she had to get milk.
How it started was, so Gina drove, and she was dropping me off. And as she's dropping me off, she's like, oh, I need to run to Schnucks. Granted, this is 8:30 at night, and I know which Schnucks she's talking about. I'm like, no, the sun is down. You cannot go by yourself. And then she was like, well, do you want to come with? And before she could even stop the car, I'm like, well, and she just takes off. Like, well, I could get some milk, so let's go. So, we were on our way to get dropped off, and then we're going to the Schnucks. On the way there, I made a comment of like, watch us have to use exactly what we just learned. Like, you learn self-defense class, and then you apply it in real life within the hour. Because if you know which Schnucks we're talking about.
Windshield wiper and gouge. Got it.
Yeah. The eyeballs. So Gina needed what? You need meatballs for the potluck.
That's good.
And then I needed milk. And so we're in there, kind of fucking around a little bit. We check out, and then we're driving home. And as we're at the light, I see something black in the road. And then all of a sudden, the black thing moves. I'm like, holy shit, that is a cat. And it's in the middle of the road. And cars are driving, almost hitting it, and it's not fucking moving. I am like this close to hopping out of Gina's car and running to go and move it.
Across this extremely busy intersection, not to mention.
It's the worst street that the cat could possibly be on because people that drive on that road are maniacs, and they definitely would not stop even if they saw the cat. Mm-mm. The people on that road would probably drive on the cat on purpose just because they're fucking shitheads like that.
I was really nervous we were going to see
something terrible.
I
was sweating. Like I said, I was this close to jumping out.
When she brought it to my attention, my heart started racing. I'm like, dude, my light was red, so it was just a matter of let us go and we'll take care of it when we can get on that side of the road. But
yeah. And yeah, so we're in the lane to make a left onto this road. And luckily, like, we got the green light. And we were able to let the truck know behind us, like, hey, there's a cat behind us. And so we go. Gina parks off and puts her hazards on. And I yeet the fuck out of the car, and I'm running, and I'm just trying to shoo it off, just trying to get it out of the road. It doesn't move. It's eating this like trash bag, so it's like that desperate for food. So I pick up the food, put it in the grass, and it follows me, or follows the food. And as I lay it down, it looks up at me, up at me with the most precious Puss in Boots eyes that I had ever seen. It's a black cat, so, you know, straight to my heart. And all of a sudden, it rubs up against me. It starts purring like a fucking motorboat. And then I pick it up.
Oh, no. Keep in mind, I'm watching all of this through my mirror. And I'm just like, that bitch better not pick that cat up. Because once she picks it up, you just know, like, that's now our responsibility.
There was no going back when I picked it up. I didn't think it was going to let me, but it did. And Gina comes out of the car and she's like, Maria, what are you doing?
Not to mention, here's the picture. Like, she's on the other side of the road, like, I don't know, a couple yards length, or I'm sorry, a couple of cars length away. So on the other side of the road, a few, I don't know, meters down, and I'm like, Maria. What are you? I was like, get in the car. Like, I don't even care. You picked up the cat. There's no turning back. Bring the cat over here. We are in such a bad area.
We are on a corner we do not want to be on. There is an abandoned house right behind us where I was like, Gina, it's got a friend. And Gina was like, bring the friend. She was like, get it.
Like, people are watching us. We are now essentially targets. I'm like, get the cat. Let's get out. She gets the cat. We put it in the car. I'm kind of nervous because my head's thinking, like, diseases, fleas. I don't know. Like,
it also had an injury. Yeah. That was the thing. That also, like, prompted to, like, hey, we need to do something with it and not just leave it because its leg was injured. But yeah, a valid concern. Fleas, infection, what have you. I did not think of any of that. I just see this sweet poor lost soul in the middle of the road that needs saving, that is just melting in my arms.
Remember, Maria speaks to animals all types. So she has spoken to this cat and it has returned.
Yeah, so Gina brings out a blanket and I go in the back seat with this cat, and it is just like purring like crazy. It is just so happy to be off the street and in safety. It does not freak out at all in the car whatsoever. It's very comfortable around people.
I've never seen anything like it.
No.
I've never seen a cat so... Me personally have never been around a cat that is so okay with being picked up and staying in someone's arms for a long period of time.
Yes.
Being in a car.
Yeah. With no issues, no hissing, no freak out, no nothing.
Perfectly content. Happy as a clam.
Yeah.
Flopping. He was doing the flop.
He was making biscuits in the car.
He was so happy. And I'm like, God damn it, Maria. Like, what are we going to do?
What did you do? Yeah, and we were like, what do we do? Because we both have cats. And so we don't want to bring this potentially feral cat into either one of our houses, because one, the fleas or any of the diseases or what have you. But then also, I don't know if you know this about other cats, but cats typically don't like other cats. Like, it is a whole fucking scene and a drama, and like, that's the one thing I dislike about cats is like, fucking get over it and just be friends. Like, why can't cats like other cats? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we knew it'd be a whole thing if we tried to bring it into someone's house. I don't have a backyard. Gina does have a backyard. So it's like, well, let's take it to Gina's fenced backyard and we'll go from there. So I'm calling Vic and I'm trying to plant the seed that, like, hey, cat distribution system has chosen us. It's a black cat. It's a male, by the way. I have been trying to get a male cat forever. We got Ozzy thinking that she was a male, and then, spoiler alert, she is a she. No regrets, but the intent was to get a male cat.
No regrets on your end.
Vic is a different story. All the regrets.
He has offered to take the cat if he can trade it with yours, with the current one.
That was the deal. Vic was like, we can trade one black cat for the other black cat. And I'm like, no.
If it were up to Maria, this place would be swarming with cats from strays and all needed to be finding home cats.
If I lived by myself, that would make cat number 5. Cat number 4 or 5 for sure.
Yep. And I was in the same boat. She's on the call with Vic. I'm on the call with Greg. We're trying to convince our significant other to let us bring home this cat. Luckily, Greg was willing, and he, brought some food and water out for the cat so that when we got there, it would be ready. We show up, the dog mows down this food. Like, he's so ready.
This cat was starving as shit because he ate 2 whole bowls, just downed it like it was nothing, and then was looking for more.
And we didn't want to give him too much, right? Because then we didn't want him to get sick. Yeah. But we gave him the 2 bowls, and he's like, all right, well, that should be enough. So let's just ease up before giving him any more. Especially because I fully anticipated putting in a bowl full overnight so that he would kind of stay in the area so we could take care of him in the morning.
Right. So that was the intent, was to leave the cat in Gina's backyard until things opened up in the morning and we could take him to a vet to get his leg checked out and then see if he was chipped and maybe find his owner. Because if the owner was me, I'd be fucking bawling my eyes out all freaking night until this cat came home. But we didn't know if it belonged to anyone or not. And it wasn't until Gina called her parents. Granted, hours have gone by at this time because we're in the backyard, playing with it, but also trying to figure out what the fuck do we do.
Not to mention, it was in love with us. It was so hooked to us that we would not have to carry it out of the car. We would just open the car door and it would follow us everywhere.
Everywhere.
This cat actually did choose
It did choose us, yes. The cat
Amazing.
distribution system.
Never felt so
working,
honored.
right? And we got to Gina's house, we got out of the car, and it's just following us. It's like, do. Where are we going next? Moms.
And we did our little investigative activity. We tested his beans, little bean sprouts. Very soft. This is an indoor cat through and through. He knows how to be an indoor cat. He wants to be an indoor cat again.
He wanted to go inside so bad.
Oh.
And, but we didn't know any of this until your parents pointed out all the signs. They're like, well, he's really soft. It looks like he's really clean, which he was. Didn't have any fleas. And like Gina mentioned, the toe beans were very soft, so he's not roughing it outside.
And his injury looked like it was shaven around. So it looked like it had been catered to at some point, but then, who knows what happened. But he was very hungry, and he was skinny. A young cat, I would say, probably about 1, maybe 2 at most.
Right.
This was definitely a cat that is a home, or has a home, but either was let go or got out and has been out for probably about a week.
Yeah, he was not street smart.
No, he was not surviving. He was just, he was surviving.
He was trying to survive, yeah.
I don't know. It was slim. So it was really stressful. Anyways, we're obsessing over it. Finally, we decide to not take you back. We brought him in the car with me
because he wouldn't let us. We didn't want him to try and chase the car because he was following us. So it's all right, well, I need to get dropped off. So he just joined the ride. He came with us to drop me off.
And we'll have to post a picture of you with the cat because it was so cute how he was just in her lap, basically asleep. And the car ride's only maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He fell asleep in her lap, just happy as can be to be in the AC.
On his back, mind you. He is on his back and he is spread out. He is living his best life. And he is just soaking up the AC and the blanket and the lap. And my heart is just bursting. But it's also breaking knowing that I'm going to be getting out of the car and it's going to be going home with Gina. And then when am I going to see it? If I'm going to see it again. So it was bittersweet.
Not to mention when you did get out, he was so upset. He started meowing for the first time since we had him. Because we had him for, maybe 4 hours by that point?
He did meow when we were when we were at your house, and we tested to see if we can go inside and how he would react if both of us were inside. He cried immediately.
Like howling.
And it shattered my heart.
That was rough. So we're like, okay, we can't do that. We can't drive away with him here. So that's how we decided to take him with us.
Bring him, yeah.
But when you left, he starts crying again. I'm like, oh, man.
Oh, no.
He was so devastated that you were leaving, and it was obvious. Like, this cat had separation anxiety. It was...
I think he was just so, like scared to be alone. That's where I'm wondering if someone, like, tossed him or let him out, or like he accidentally got out and then couldn't find his way back, and then was just so happy to be around like a human being, knowing he was going to be taken care of, like a safety blanket type deal thing. But when I was in the car before, like, I was stuck obviously because he's asleep on me, Gina called Vic to have him come outside so that Vic could see the cat. That was another like attempt at getting Vic to like maybe want the kitty cat. And so Vic does come out, he pets on him, and then the cat is loving Vic. So I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, Vic is going to want him. And then that's when I lost my train of thought. Gina's having a meltdown over here.
I'm so sorry. This damn wig. I'm actually so over it.
You have like the biggest bun in the back though, so it's no wonder it's not staying on.
Okay.
Anyway, so I do leave the cat, and then Gina goes home, and then the drama does not stop there because Gina has to get inside her house without it crying too much. And then the cat decides that while it's there, it wants to explore into neighbors' yards. So then Gina freaks out that it's in neighbors' yards.
I was going through my own heartache because I felt very alone at this situation, right? Because Maria's now not with me. Greg could give two fucks. Like, he has a heart. He does have a soft spot, but he also does not need to be dealing with this. His mindset is like, that's a cat that is... If he's here in the morning, great, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of him and go and get him checked. If he's not here, he's not here. Like, he was not as phased where I am like, I need this cat to be here in the morning, because if he's not, I feel solely responsible that we took him, 7 minutes away from where we found him, and he's all turned around, and if something happens to him or he falls into the wrong hands,
it's our fault.
Like, I was going through it. And I'm like, I have to make sure that this cat stays in this vicinity so I can take care of him in the morning. It is so important to me.
And as Gina's going through it, I am going through it because I feel so guilty that I started the whole thing. I picked up the cat. All that was going through my head all night long is that Greg and Vic are never going to let us bring a cat home again. I told Vic, I go, Greg probably hates me right now and probably does not want Gina hanging out with me ever again because this type of shit happens when we're together.
It was so funny though. We were having a ball. We're like, oh, we're so fucking soft for this cat. Anywho, so at some point, this cat accidentally
got inside the house.
Oh, got inside the house. Yeah.
Accidentally being the key fucking word.
I cannot confirm nor deny your statement. Anywho, remember, I have a cat of my own, and remember, cats don't warm up to other cats.
Cats don't like other cats.
And I could not have been more disappointed because I'm like, girl, to my cat, be more empathetic. Like,
get over yourself.
You have been through this yourself. We got her in a shelter, super skinny, about 2 years old. Like, she has literally been in the same situation.
Yep.
And we brought her in and gave her love, spoiled her, chunked her up.
Like, she thick.
She is a princess now. And so this cat is in that exact moment, and she's like hissing at it. She is screaming.
With her double chin, she is hissing at this cat. It was such a sight to see. This little butterball is hissing at this black cat. And then
don't call her Butterball.
But it was, you could see the double chin happening as she's like trying to like claim her territory. She's like, meh, meh, all princessy.
To keep in mind, I have no idea how she got so chunky, okay? We feed her. We don't give her.
She needs a friend to run around with.
She just sits on her throne all day long.
Literally. Gina feeds her grapes. Gina, Gina and Greg made her a fucking castle. Literally. There's a castle in their house. I saw. Because I cat sat for them.
It's a cardboard box that says Callie's house, okay?
Callie's princess castle.
So spoiled. It is just undeniable. This cat gets in the house, and this is not the first time. There were 2 scenarios here, but this first time we just picked him up, put him back outside. We're like, clearly that's not going to work. All right, moving on. The second time, Greg is asleep. Okay,
because this is much later.
We're talking 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Now, Maria told me, okay, let him go. He's gonna stick around.
He knows where food is at. He's got the shelter. We put blankets out, so he knows that he has stuff at this house.
She said, go get a shower, go eat, go to bed. I said, okay.
As soon as she hangs up, she does none of those things. She does the exact opposite.
I go back outside. I call for him. He comes right to me. He comes from over. So he comes when I call him, which honestly just meant the world to me because he's being venturous, but also staying within a close proximity so that as soon as I call him, he'd just come right to me.
He was literally just checking out this new area, checking the territory to make sure everything was fine. It was Gucci.
Mm-hmm. We would, as soon as I would sit down, he would just put his body weight and lean against me and lay down and be so content. Not a peep, wouldn't be obnoxious. He was just so... This cat was just needing love. That was, at the end of the day, he needed love.
You know what that was? It was fucking gratitude.
Yes.
Which I have not received from my cats in fucking years.
No.
Mine are so spoiled, which I know I did that. I created these monsters, but it was just so nice to have another cat, to be so grateful.
I know. I'm like, Callie, do that.
Right. What happened?
What happened? Oh my gosh. I actually felt, oh man, it was bad. I needed to really bring myself down because I had to remind myself why I love my cat because after seeing something like that, I was actually kind of annoyed. I'm like, how did we get here?
Yeah. Where did we go wrong?
He just was being so kind. Anyways, I go back inside. I'm like, okay, this is the last time. But then he sneaks in again. Okay. And I was like, oh, oops. And I just give it a shot. I'm just like, what happens? Callie's not here. I don't know where she's at, but she's not in here. She doesn't know he's in here. Yeah. So maybe we can get away with it. I go into the guest room. And I just said, he jumps on the bed. He looks around. He's already I can get with this. Yeah. He was very happy. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna walk out of the room.
Did you close the door at all?
I tried to.
Oh. But he followed you. Didn't he?
Are you talking about inside or outside?
Inside. When he's in the guest room, did you close the guest door?
Yes. And I sat there and for 30 seconds in silence, just standing around watching him just be so happy. I'm like, God damn it, what have I done? Now I'm teasing him, basically.
Yeah, it was almost cruel.
I felt really bad. But then I go to open the guest room door back so that I could leave. And Callie is there waiting.
With her double chin, chunkster in the shadow. Just, what are you doing?
She didn't quite know what was going on, but the moment I came out and she saw him in there, it was over. She starts meowing and hissing and louder than she was the first time he was accidentally inside the house. And then he actually, for the first time, doesn't just try to go up to her. He starts prancing at her,
he's playing
towards her, and I'm like, uh-oh. And it was Greg's asleep, soundly baby asleep, okay, upstairs, and she starts running away. She doesn't fight. She does not fight. She just runs away. And when I tell you that this cat was screaming bloody murder, that I've never heard her or any cat for that matter scream so loud. Mm-hmm. She was screaming at the top of her little tiny nodule lungs, running around the living room and back, and I'm trying to stop her or stop him or pick him up, and they zoom by. They start going upstairs. I'm like, Oh no. I can hear upstairs Callie screaming all the way, and then they come back and I hear Greg going, Gina, what the fuck? I was like, ah! It was just out of a cartoon.
Chaos, yeah.
It was actually mayhem. And so finally I get him, and I was really nervous that when I opened the door, she was just going to be running for her life. It didn't matter where. So I was nervous that when I opened the door to get him out, she was going to come out too, take off. So much anxiety, bro. But no, she stayed in. I threw him out, closed the door, tried to go soothe my own spoiled little chunk child, and she just was, I brought her to the couches, tried to calm her down, and she's just hissing and like so stormed up. Yeah. And I just had to sit there and calm her down for like 5 minutes, and then I realized that was it. I went and took a shower. All the towels are outside because of the cat bed that I made, so I had no towels. But I did not want to take a shower upstairs where Greg could hear, because I was trying so hard to like let him cool off. So I shower with no towels available. I'm just walking around ass naked,
dripping,
just all over drenched. It's cold. I'm like, I deserve this. And then I go upstairs. I go to the bathroom, take care of a couple things. I try to go to bed. Greg is just still fuming. Like, he's not talking, but he's breathing. He's doing the deep sighs, just like doesn't. But oh god. And then I try to like tickle his back.
Just a little soft touch. Grego, are you still mad at me?
I couldn't be more accurate.
I could picture this whole thing.
I was just like, and then I was like, Greg, I'm really sorry. And he's like, just go to bed. I'm like, oh God, my heart, I can't do it. We're coming up on 2 a.m., right? And yeah. My heart has been through it. I've been aggressive. I've been in love. I've been traumatized. I've been depressed and sad.
The whole spectrum of emotions.
Like 6 hours. Finally, I don't know. I told him again, I was like, Greg, I'm really sorry. Just so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's like, it's okay. I pass out immediately. As the moment I get his green light, it was over. So I guess I have to finalize, right? We got to finish up. I tell him, we wake up, he is still outside, perched high on this fence. I can see him from upstairs.
Yeah, 6 a.m. rolls around because my alarm goes off because I'm going into the office. And as soon as it goes off, I am wide the fuck awake for the first time at 6 a.m. like ever, unless it's vacations. And I go straight to my phone. There's no message from Gina. So I message. I'm like, and... ... question mark, like, update please. Like half an hour later comes by, and the first thing that she says, like, I fucked up. And I'm like, oh my God, you cannot tell me that with zero context here. Like, what do you mean you fucked up? And then you said, like, I didn't go to bed at all. And I'm like, oh no.
I did realize I needed to give you some peace of mind. So I was like, Cat's okay. Here's a picture of him. Yeah. But he may accidentally have gotten into the house last night, and I may have my marriage. My wedding might be off.
I almost sabotaged the wedding.
I felt so bad, man. But no, everything's fine. And then anyways, I get outside on my way to work, and I've got all my stuff in my hand. I just need to get to the car so I can put the stuff down and see what we can do. Like, I tried calling places, and here's the thing. None of these rescue places open till like 10 a.m.
Right. What the fuck is that? Like, cats and dogs need rescuing before 10 a.m. I feel like most of the rescues happen at fucking midnight. So why do we not have a midnight rescue place?
24 hours, at least like normal business hours, maybe like 8 a.m. I don't know.
No,
like
a 24/7 one. I will pay higher tax dollars if it goes to that. I will gladly pay higher tax dollars. I will buy a shit ton of lottery tickets so that money can be used for fucking animal shelters, for 24-hour shelters, and pay people salaries. All the times that I have needed them have been at fucking midnight, and there's nothing.
Every time I've needed them, it's been really early in the morning, like I'm on my way to work or something, and these places just aren't open. Anyway, it's stressful.
Yeah. So Gina's FaceTiming me, like, as soon as, like, it was like, we did like an hour FaceTime because I'm getting like all the updates, and like Gina goes outside, and as we're talking on the phone, then your neighbor comes out.
All the neighbors come out at the same time, okay?
They all get the story.
An explanation to the one, because the thing is, the cat is in the alleyway between all of the different houses.
Yeah.
Just crying. Like, he hears my voice, but he doesn't know quite where, or he's hearing sounds happening. The light is coming out, day is happening, and he's just crying. So I see all of the neighbors. I kid you not. I've locked eyes with all of them. They're just like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to owe you an explanation. This is my doing. I'm very sorry. So I explain it to my side neighbor, and then I go to my car, and I see the cat, and he kind of scurries off when one of my neighbors comes towards it, but then he sees me and realizes, oh wait, these people,
I know this girl,
like, this is okay. So he comes back, the guy picks him up. He's a little skittish at first, but then he's, again, back with a human.
He melts.
I'm showing Maria a video,
and he is just sprawled out all over this man's chest, like, and his eyes are like half closed. Like, he is just so content.
He's like, oh, thank God, another person can hold me, take me in. This, it was great news because this neighbor, he's retired. He had the capacity and the time to kind of handle the situation. Originally, I was going to ask Greg to kind of take care of it,
which I was so worried about.
I couldn't find myself asking him to pick up where we left off after what happened the night before. So it worked out perfectly. I didn't want to, because personally I wanted to see it through. I wanted to kind of like be there and finish it out, but I had to go to work, and he was able to do it. And not to mention, he was willing to take the cat inside because he has another cat, and he's like, oh, it's fine. Like, my cat will be all right. I'll lock him up. He just was so willing to like take care of this cat.
He saved the day.
It's like, thank you, sir. So he takes the cat. He's able to give him cat food inside, love. I want to say good news, but I don't know. We're a little disappointed.
This is where the bummed part happens.
He tells me it's okay. I'll take him in. I'll take him to, what is it called?
The Humane Society. But he teased us. He said something about how his cat actually ended up being in a similar situation where it was a rescue. So he was teasing us with the fact that he was probably going to keep the cat if it wasn't chipped, if there wasn't an owner, which I was so happy. And I'm going to work. Peace of mind knowing that it's not Greg that's dealing with the situation. I was like, he's not going to give a flying fuck if the cat is there or not. And if he even remembers to take the cat. So we've got this good neighbors, good Samaritan, this cat man who is willing to take him. I was like, he's in good hands. I go to the office all happy, a little pep in my step. And then Gina sends me a message with the update that ruins me.
I texted him and asked him for an update because he did kind of say, yeah, if this cat doesn't have a chip, I might just bring him home with me, and I'm bringing another stray. I'm like, okay, that's
best case scenario.
We can come visit him.
Yes.
Best of both worlds. No, I text him. He's like, yep, he wasn't chipped. I left him at Humane Society. He's in good hands. I was like,
yeah, let me fucking repeat that. He is not chipped. And I fucking left him at the fucking Humane Society. I came home empty fucking handed. My God, what the fuck? I'm so...
We are still going to say he was very kind and heroic. We still
appreciative.
Love him. But we did kind of want to, if he wasn't chipped, we wanted to handle it. And we didn't get that opportunity. It was a little disappointing. Not that we could have kept him, but I don't know. I was probably going to take him to make sure he got fixed up, fix that wound, and then hopefully see it through. Then maybe take him to one of those shelters that are like coffee cafe, cat cafes, or
he's with other friends and all this stuff.
I don't know. I had ideas, but it was more selfish because I wanted to make sure that whatever the scenario was, I was a part of it and I could see it through. And we will never know if that sweet little guy is going to get adopted or if he's going to get picked up.
We don't know what home he's going to go into.
Yeah.
And I don't know I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting for the man to take him, because then when I read your message, like luckily like I was in my car on the way to go to like a trail run at lunchtime, because as soon as I got the message I start crying.
Oh God.
I'm like, not the humane, like the Humane Society is great. We're not saying that the Humane Society is like a shitty place, but I was like, he's in a just like a animal like shelter where there's like cages, and he's probably scared as shit, and he's like thinking that we abandoned him, and I don't want him to think that we abandoned him. And I don't know, I just had this very unrealistic expectation that like if he didn't bring him home, then like I would have somehow ended up with the cat.
I don't know. Trade your cats though. These are the standards. Yeah, it was really hard pill to swallow. I mean, I felt like we really been through it. And it doesn't even amount to what this cat's going through, which is a whole other thing.
It was just so deflating. And yeah, so then, this has nothing to do with anything, but I go on my run and I get lost on the trail. So then I'm like stressing about the run and like taking too long because I'm like lost, and I get back to work. So the whole run was counterproductive because I was stressed the whole time. And so then like I had all that emotion and stuff like that, and I showered there, and then I sit down and I have like a fat lunch, and then all of a sudden like it all hits me. So by 3 p.m. I'm ready to go home, cry, and go to bed. I'm tired, I'm worn out, I am fucking deflated, and I'm just done. And that's when the coworker's asking like, what's wrong, Marie?
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you everything. I am a woman of many words.
So we have recently posted a couple of things, Maria specifically for the podcast or on your own personal page, of the stats of adopting cats, and black cats specifically. This was a black cat, if we didn't mention that. And yeah. It's not very reassuring, because black cats are less likely to be adopted. So, excuse me, please consider adopting a black cat.
Dude, they're fucking phenomenal.
I don't know about that for yours, but this one was great.
Okay.
It was the sweetest cat I've ever met, aside from my own, even though I did learn in this experience she is not all made out to be.
Well, there's just a way of introducing new cats to your current cats, and like that wasn't happening. There's a whole process that needs to occur,
which I did not know.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It is very painful introducing cats to each other. Like, we've gone through it a few times, and it is just excruciating.
It's a process.
Yes.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Okay, we have been on here way too long. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
What is our weekly wow, my friend?
So the weekly wow, we could probably go, I can give you like 3 easily. So the first one, adopt black cats, or adopt, don't shop, don't buy, from breeders, everything like that. Just adopt a rescue. Second one, take a self-defense class. Like, it was very empowering. It is a blast. And there's a lot of places that do free trials, or, it's like a one-time fee that you can pay. Our class was free. Definitely check it out. And then the other thing that we talked about on the way back was like, just try things without being prepared for it. You don't have to be 100% prepared to do something. And in fact, like, some of the like most exhilarating experiences are doing it by like flying by the seat of your pants and just diving in. You're never gonna be 100% ready for everything, so you have to learn to just dive in on things without being prepared for it. And guess what? You'll be fucking okay. You will be okay. I mean, like Nike, just fucking do it.
Please,
Please what? Or is that just a please at the end of all the wows? Please.
Yeah, please. Just do it.
Just do it. All right. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, here we go.